What's up? It's your boy Carcino here, and let's do it. Album versus album, Volume 17. Michael Jackson's Thriller versus Prince Purple Rain. Oh yeah. I know y'all thought it was just gonna be hip hop, but like I said, it's album versus album. And let's talk about two of the best albums ever made. And definitely two of the most influential albums of all time. Michael Jackson came out with one of the most creative and to me it was just broke the mold from Off the Wall. Off the Wall was an album that was perfect for its time, but you could tell it was on the cusp of just bursting out and just opening up the bubble. Thriller had so many hits on them, but they were completely different from Off the Wall. Off the Wall was something that, if you were in the club scene, it was perfect for you. This is the everyday walk of life, nightclub, whatever. Thriller was your album. Billie Jean, just the beat alone. That's a nightclub song. That's a radio song. That's a song you could play outside. It's a story. You got everything in there. And then the videos that went with we've never seen videos like that. The creativity, the floors lighting up as he walked. It's just entirely different structure of to go along with the songs, but we can't use the videos, so which really to me diminishes Thriller, because without the videos, Thriller is a great album, outstanding album, as far as production, the way the songs were selected, human nature, everything. Oh my God. The way Michael choruses and the way he hits the notes. His singing skill was almost second to none on that album. He really shined on Thriller. And, I mean, my gosh, there's so many hits on Thriller. Yeah, even the filler songs that I felt were filler songs, like PYT, Pretty Young Thing. You know, that was more of the pop song for the teenagers, and they loved it. And it was like a filler song, really. PYT, Pretty Young Thing, you need some loving. It was a hit. Everything Michael touched was turning to gold. Whenever your filler song is doing great. And then that happens, and it's monumental. Beat It, rock, whole totally different from Billie Jean. Then you got all of these other things that's happening and transpiring now. You have the actual title theme for Thriller, and Thriller was a song that nobody really played or listened to until the video. So that's what I say, without it, man, it just was terrible, because it's hard to judge it without the actual video, you know. That's what made Thriller album go to another plateau, the way they had the theme with the Halloween and Thriller. But as far as the album, nobody listened to Thriller. Nobody listened to Thriller. Thriller was the song was like, okay, it's alright. But after the video, people played Thriller all the time. Thriller was a hit. So the video actually led people, they could put the pictures to the song, actually. So it's an amazing album. And speaking of an amazing album, we said there'll never be another Thriller. Ever. No album will come and do what Thriller's done. The next year, boom. Here comes Purple Rain. Here comes Purple Rain. Purple Rain is one of my favorite albums of all time. One. As far as a lot of people know, Prince is like my favorite artist. So without a doubt, this album here, just because he's a musical genius. The man can play every musical instrument. He knows about sound, and he is unique when it comes to basically everything when it comes to music. He can hear notes that are not there and actually create new sounds and sound effects. He was the first ad-lib person. When Prince used to, like James Brown used to do ad-libs, Prince took it to a whole nother level. Yeah. You know, I can't hit Prince's notes, but Prince was something else. And with this album, he had this, they call the Minneapolis sound, which is like Morris Day and the Time. Like, he wrote all that music for them. And he wrote his own for Prince and the Revolution. All the music created by Prince. All songs written by Prince. He went home, wrote a song for Purple Rain, the movie. And basically this album is a soundtrack to the movie, which is basically how they came up in the club in Minneapolis. You know, this is what he does for a living. Like, this is Prince's life on blast. This album. And it's hard. It's just like with the Thriller album. Purple Rain, the movie, made the album just spectacular. But without the movie, we had the soundtrack first. And when the soundtrack, which was the actual album, Purple Rain, it's a monster. Let's Go Crazy, When Doves Cry, are you kidding me? The Beautiful Ones, Computer Blue, every song epic. You had never heard anything with the guitar played like that ever. Musicians always look at Purple Rain and go, oh my God, the album, like, I can't believe it. You know, people play the E, the A, and the B. This thing was all over the place. And the guitar, you could hear the solos, everything that was being played in here was to perfection. And it was something different. The sound was unique. You never really heard the sound like that before. When Doves Cry, that guitar playing, I mean, that's one of a kind. If you go back and listen to Purple Rain right now, it is still monumentally great. It's hard to make a choice between which album is greater because they are both so different from one another. There's not one song on Thriller that's similar to a song on Purple Rain, and vice versa. There's not one song on Purple Rain that is similar to a song on Thriller. And they're both unique albums. Both best albums probably of all time. Top 5. Got to be. Both. Out of any records in the world. But to me, Purple Rain is the better album. Like, people never liked the song Purple Rain until they saw the movie. Then they like, oh, I understand the song Purple Rain now. And Purple Rain, like I said, they pictures to go with the song. Same scenario with Thriller. Nobody liked the song until they saw the video. And it was so unique because the album was so great, it created a contest that didn't even exist. Like, nobody even thought anybody was ever in a lifetime come near Thriller. And here it is, less than a year later, you got Prince. Now it's who's better, Prince or Michael Jackson? It's the battle. Who's gonna win? And people fed off of it that when Michael Jackson made the Bad album, Quincy Jones said, you know what? Let's bring Prince in for the song I'm Bad. After the Run DMC thing didn't work. So Prince and Michael sat down, talked, and they were coming up with the lyrics for the song. And it was going to be a battle between Prince and Michael Jackson. That's why it says, your butt is mine, don't tell you right. You know, the lyrics stayed the same. They never changed the lyrics to the song. So when you hear him talking, the record is actually a diss record to Prince. But Prince knew about it and he was supposed to put his vocals on there. In between those, Michael went back and added another chorus to the song. Prince was supposed to be on there, not Wesley Snipes and those guys. Prince was going to be there with his group. Michael was going to be there with his dancers. It was a showdown to see who was the baddest. Prince said, he was listening to it, saw the thing, he said, this thing is going to be a hit. It's going to be a monster. Like, you don't need me for this. Like, no, this is going to be huge. Because he was working on his album at the time, Sign of the Times, which was another outstanding album. And it is entirely different from Michael Jackson's Bad. And I remember my father was talking about, like, man, everybody's raving about Michael Jackson's Bad album. But Sign of the Times, to me, is the better album. And no one's even thinking about that. I don't know. He's like, I actually love Sign of the Times. And that's another argument for another day. But it's your boy Carcino. I'm out. Tell me what you think. Thriller